I'm Shannon.
And I'm Lisa.
And you're listening to Blacktivities,
a celebration of all things Black.
Black culture, Black history,
Black perspectives, and Black panache.
Celebrating our Blackness doesn't mean exclusion.
Everybody's invited, but you gotta come in and have a seat.
So let the Blacktivities begin. We're back.
Woo! Yes, that was a long little break.
I'm Shannon, here with my lovely co-host, Miss Mona Lisa.
Hey, howdy do?
Lisa, I'm hype about season 2. If you are joining us for the first time, we're so glad that you're listening.
So this is what we're going to need you to do. Go ahead and hit that follow button in your podcast app so you can get automatic downloads for the whole season. Because let me tell you, we're going to laugh, we're going to learn, and we're definitely going to vibe all season long. That's what it's all about.
Yes, ma'am. So, Lisa, February is a very special month for us, mostly because it's my birthday month.
Okay.
But, it's also, Black History Month or whatever. They gave us the shortest month of the year, of course. But the question is, do we still need a Black History Month? I mean, shouldn't we just celebrate it every month?
This is true. But it's going to be on all of us to do so.
Well, I think before we address that argument, we need a little bit of history. It's time for Sax Facts. Black History Month used to be a week. Carter G. Woodson, founder of the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History in 1915, is known as the father of Black history because he was the first to push for a Black history celebration in 1926. He designated the second week of February as Negro History Week to teach Black history in public schools. That week was chosen because of Lincoln and Frederick Douglass's birthdays being that week. That week became a month in the late 1960s, and Kent State University was one of the first colleges to hold celebrations. It wasn't until 1976 that the month was officially recognized by President Gerald Ford when he told Americans to, quote, seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout history. And this happened at the bicentennial. Did you know that Canada also celebrates Black History Month in February? Shout out to our Canadian friends. We have several of y'all listening in Canada. And Ireland and the UK actually celebrate Black History Month in October because it tied in with African Jubilee Year when it was first celebrated there in 1987 and the 150th anniversary of Caribbean emancipation. The UK's Black history is different from ours and more tied to African Caribbean roots. And so that's why they do the October thing.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I was also actually today years old when I realized that every year there's an official theme for Black History Month. Don't judge me. Woodson's organization still determines that theme. So last year it was Black Health and Wellness, and this year it's Black Resistance, which is about exploring how African Americans have resisted historic and ongoing oppression in all forms, especially the racial terrorism of lynching, racial programs, and police killings since the nation's earliest days. So, power to the people, fists in the air, and that's Sax Facts.
Oh my goodness, I did not know that. The themes. I'm going to have to look that. I'm going to read up on that some more.
I so did not know that.
I did not know that they had themes. I thought it was just little, you Black, boom. So
right.
That's it. That's all you get. 28 days, get out my face. But I did not know that. So let's talk about this Black history, okay? What is Black History Month about for you?
For me, is just celebrating us, because I feel like we don't get celebrated that often. So it's about celebrating our accomplishments and our contributions to this country. It's about acknowledging the past and the painful things that happened in our history.
Okay. Well, I have to agree with you totally on that. Growing up in the different school systems that I went through, I have to say that, yes, they did make a big whoop-de-doo about Black History Month, and they had us to pick our, Black person that we were going to do a project on. And I will always pick Dr. Daniel Hale because of the last name is similar to mine. And I just thought that, it's amazing, but it's sad now that it's not as strict. Maybe it's just where I live, but February roll around, I don't see any Black history, things going on. I do have to share this though. I don't know if I shared this before, but in the field that I work, a financial field that I work at, it's a large bank that I do work at that everyone knows. And I decided that February was rolling around. This had to have been maybe the second year I was working there. And I had this big old office. And I'm like, look, I'm finna represent for my people. I done came up. And I decided to do a silhouette of one of the first Black female. I don't even remember what her name was. That's sad. It's just, I was just so into I'm gonna put this up there. And they're the judge in Dalton. I ain't gonna say his name. Can I say his name? I don't know. Let's not say it. The judge there in Dalton, he's also African American. He came to see me. And he said, who is this on the wall? And I was so proud to tell him. He said, girl, they finna get you out of here. So I still got it. I took it down when, February was up. But the lady, I should have maybe had my research, the way I can give it to you. But she played a significant role when it comes to African Americans working in the banking field. And she was the first president of, a bank. So I was just so proud, this is going to be me one day. I had cut out her silhouette. Girl, I had construction paper. I made a little fro and, you know what I'm saying? People, I would have customers come in and oh, who is that? And I would tell them and they would, seem like they would really appreciate that information. It was oh, okay. But I don't know. It was just funny. Now, going back looking at it you wild for that one. You wild for that one. But I don't know. I really feel like for me, it is talking about, positivity. But I feel like more or less that we don't focus on the negative at all. If it is, it's us putting that out there on us being slaves and, things that happen to us. But when we make someone uncomfortable, then they're we're going to have to back out.
Right.
So hence, they give us the short month. They don't want to feel uncomfortable for too long. So boom, there you have it.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm thinking of in school, Black History Month still was not. I mean, it's acknowledged that it's Black History Month, but that's about it. You probably learn about, MLK, maybe Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
Maybe Rosa Parks.
Yeah, of course. They threw Rosa in there.
But then
Harriet Tubman. But that was limited though.
Yeah.
Harriet was limited.
That's probably about it.
Yeah.
Actually, my school, they have a little a little show that the kids do, and they were going around asking other kids what they knew about Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, what they say?
They didn't know very much about.
Bless it.
They knew he was an activist and he did a lot, but that's about it.
He did a lot, and I feel like that's how they teach now. Because when I ask my children, about it, yeah, he was a leader in the civil rights movement. And he did a lot for the African American people. And then that's the generic answer that's taught. And
that was pretty much what all the kids said.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with this Black History Month, and how it came about, do you think it's still necessary for us to have?
I do. Just because I feel like Black history is American history, but it's still not acknowledged as such.
Mm-hmm.
And I think until it is acknowledged, we still need to have that month just to celebrate us.
Right.
Because we don't, I mean, they try to sugarcoat everything that happened in our history.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the reality.
Now, I shared with you the interview 60 Minutes years ago that Morgan Freeman did, and they asked him the same thing. And he was like, no. He was like, if we all just acknowledge each other, basically, just as people, then we celebrate African-American history every day, then what's the whole point? And I was just like, at first I was like, yeah, tell him, Morgan, like, y'all go look that up, look that interview up on 60 Minutes. And I was, felt the same way. Like, yeah, we just incorporate the things that we went through in normal history, like we would do, like we teach our children every day, then we wouldn't have to worry about being focused on a month, and having people feel a certain type of way during this month and feel uncomfortable if it's known, if, we talk about this every day. But I don't know. You had me feeling like, no, we need our time to shine. So why is that?
Like, I get that. If our history was taught within the realm of American history, then that's all well and good, but it's not.
Yeah.
And, basically the only thing that they might make mention of is like slavery. Slavery happened, civil rights happened, but it's not like I said, they try to make it sound like just a story, like a fairy tale almost.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand that too. I don't mean to flip flop, but yeah, I understand that too. If we're going to talk about our history, y'all got to talk about the whole thing.
Right.
Y'all can't talk about
good and bad.
Right. You just can't talk about like what you're comfortable with. You got to talk about the whip on the back and all of that.
They try to make it like the Civil War was about states' rights.
Girl, don't say it like that, but they did.
No, they really do.
They did. Yeah. And it ain't, no. It was way more than that.
Right.
It was way more than that. And also, I want to draw attention to a lot of things like the attack of Black Wall Street and also the infamous Lake Lanier in Georgia. Lord Jesus.
But see, I didn't learn about any of that stuff until I was grown.
Me too.
Like, we don't
can I say
even know.
Quick?
We don't know our history.
Quick? Can I say this? Y'all stop going in that lake. Stop.
We down the street.
I know, but y'all stop. Y'all stop going over there. Let me tell you something. Let's say you are driving a car, right? You're driving this car that's given to you, right? And then all of a sudden you see that there are maybe 10 other people that's driving the same car that's given to you. And then out of the 10 people, 7 of them crash in the car. Okay. And then they say, okay, it's subject to possibly be, something wrong with the car. Are you going to still continue to drive yours? Yeah. That what I just probably gave y'all, that analogy probably was trash. But still, I ain't going to swim over nothing to nothing. I don't even want to go over there and look at that water.
I'm good on Lake Lanier. For those of you that don't know, Lake Lanier was built on top of a Black city called Oscarville.
Yes.
They just made the lake on top of all the stuff. They didn't even get rid of bulldoze any of the stuff.
You'll probably see buildings still up under there. Cemeteries.
There's all kind of stuff under there.
Yeah. And then the way that they acquired the land as well it runs deep. They basically ran people, African-American people, off of that land because of something happened where there was a Caucasian woman that was raped
and killed.
Raped and killed. They caught the 3 people that supposedly had did it. And I'm saying supposedly because I'm not exactly sure if they did it or not, because there has been history to where there were a lot of African-American men that were captured and killed, even though they didn't do nothing. They just did it because, hey, we can do it. But they did capture 3 men. They put them in jail. But the Caucasian people was so upset still. They went to this town that had roughly, I think it's like a population of 1,100 Black people. And they shot and hung and basically ran them off. And we're not talking about just regular people. We're talking about people that owned acres of land there.
Yeah.
And they just took the land and said, you know what? We're going to build the dam right here.
Right.
You could potentially own some land around here.
I could.
Yeah, but you ain't going to get it.
Nope.
So you're never going to get it. Not this time. My bad.
Yeah.
So what do you think would need to happen for us to not need a Black History Month anymore?
Well, like we were talking about before, like if America, I'll just say, acknowledges that our history is American history. Mm-hmm. And when they make the textbooks and when they teach the kids, if they tell the history like it is mm-hmm. and include all of our contributions, then I don't think we need a Black History Month. But I don't see that happening.
Imagine, okay, let's say if that do happen. And imagine a classroom full of children and they're explaining to them or going over, basic stuff of what happened. And then that one child raises their hand and say, well, why did they hang him? Or why didn't they? Like, I can see where that teacher will be uncomfortable. And I feel like that's needed. I'm a big proponent of having uncomfortable conversations. Okay.
Because I feel like that's the only way to grow.
Exactly.
Is to acknowledge that those things happened mm-hmm. and that they're bad. Mm-hmm. Having those uncomfortable conversations about that stuff can help people to understand each other.
Right.
I think it can help other cultures to understand our culture. And then they might understand, I guess, like people think we have a chip on our shoulder. Mm-hmm. But
I can relate.
I think that people would understand if they understood our plight. Mm-hmm. They would understand us.
Right.
They would understand why we go so hard.
Or why we react the way we do to certain situations.
Yes. And why we want to celebrate us.
Right.
Because nobody else celebrates us. And it's been historically like the opposite, the complete opposite.
Right. Hey, you know what? I read something when I was doing just a little research. But is it true that Frederick Douglass' daddy was white?
I've never heard that.
Yeah. I was doing some research because my daughter, she was doing something. But I was doing some research and I read that and I was like, wait, what? But yeah, his daddy was white. So his mom was a slave.
He was dark skinned.
Yeah. And I always remember the pictures of, this man with the white fro. But then again, you know what I'm saying? I've encountered, like, my kids, especially my middle daughter, bless it. I love her to death. It's her senior year. Shout out to Mimi. But she's, fair skinned, but girl, she got that 4C hair. And it happens, you know what I mean? But I'm going to continue to do some research and I want y'all, that's y'all homework. Y'all go, let's find out Frederick Douglass' daddy, who his daddy is. Seriously. But yeah, I read that and I was just like, interesting. But I wouldn't be surprised though. Think about it. I would not be surprised.
We didn't finish talking about what your boy said.
Who?
Morgan Freeman.
About not
needing Black History Month.
I
can feel what he's saying, but
and we kind of touched on it though. Like I agree that if it was, if we talk about it every day, then if it's incorporated in regular history like all the other stuff, then what's the whole point of having just a month? I mean,
but then that's also the argument that these people that want to erase our history use, because they say, well, y'all are making a big deal out of it. Y'all are making race an issue. Y'all are causing the division because y'all keep talking about it.
But we wouldn't have this issue if y'all didn't make us drink from different water fountains. If y'all didn't have us out there in the cotton fields. Let me tell you something. Somebody hit me with a whip. I know this is my second time bringing it up, but I just keep thinking about, my mama whooped me one time. And that feeling right there, just imagine like you can't do nothing about it. I know I'm getting off topic, but you guys started this.
Where did that come from though?
What are you referring to?
When we got whoopings and stuff.
Like
that. We got beat like that.
We got beat because,
where did that come from?
Came from.
Think about it.
The massa. And us just being overpowered. Like it is just, it's hard. What answer are you looking for?
I'm saying, it was passed down.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like that's some post-traumatic slave syndrome stuff.
Ooh. And you know what? That's why I don't like to put my hand on my children.
Yeah.
I know how that feeling I felt. Like I don't like that. I do different parenting, and that could be like a different episode we can talk about, when it comes to Black parenting. But I don't like to put my hands on my children like that. I'd rather sit down and talk to them first.
Sometimes it's necessary.
But I don't even remember the last time I really went ham on my kids like that. Now my oldest begged to differ. I had her young, so. But I don't know. It's like I don't believe in just beating on them like that because, again, that's passed down behavior, and I don't want them to feel like that.
All right, we're getting off topic.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Let's go ahead and do our Blacktivity.
All right. So here we are, Blacktivity. Are you ready? I have came up with a couple questions here. I am going to give you 1 minute to try to answer these questions. Okay? All right?
Okay. Me and Tom don't do well because I'm slow.
Are you ready? You want me to just ask you the question?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll just ask you the question. All right. True or false? Black History Month started out originally as Negro History Week.
That's true. That was in Sex Facts.
Name 3 civil rights leaders.
MLK, Malcolm X,
come on,
Marcus Garvey.
Boom. All right. First Black Supreme Court Justice.
Thurgood Marshall.
Ooh, look at you. This first lady, middle name is LaVon.
LaVon?
Mm-hmm. Come on, B, you got this.
Ooh, Michelle?
Yeah.
Oh,
LaVon.
Okay. I mean, only Black first lady, so.
Right. Come on, this one should be a no-brainer. Area in Forsyth County, where it's believed land was stolen from Black people to build a dam.
The name of the county? Oscarville?
No, just the little area, like the little lake.
Oh, Lake Lanier.
Mm-hmm. True or false? Shirley Temple held Mr. Bojangles or just Bojangles' hand anyway, even though he was instructed not to touch her for their stair dance scene in the 1935 movie, The Little Colonel.
I'm going to say true.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You got them all right. But
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they told her because of Jim Crow laws and all that. They told I think his name was Billy Bojangles something, that he was not allowed to touch her. And Shirley Temple was like, no, this is my Uncle Billy. And we do all these scenes together. No, I know him. And she grabbed his hand anyway.
Shout out to the allies.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shirley Temple. All right.
Okay. I'm actually surprised that I did okay with that.
Girl, you did. You know it.
I'm a slow thinker. Okay. It's time for Lisa's Pieces.
All right. Y'all ready? All right. And I tell you, it's deeper than that. Blue skies versus blue lights patrolling our mind. Knowledgeable. Book stack high, but ill-informed to what we really are. Yes, our skin illuminates in the sun, but it's deeper than that. Her story, matching what's taught in history. Teasing us with options of false dreams, high hopes of knowing where we came from, dreaming of the truth, not make-believe, disrespectfully tinkerbelling our ancestry. It's deeper than that. Our responsibility to pass down our knowledge, our leadership, moving our influence, deepening our facts. Where you treat our history, please treat it like it's yours too. Thank you. All right. So next week we will be covering the infamous question, are you Black enough? Shannon, are you Black enough?
I don't know.
Okay.
Some people might say I'm not. Well, thank you for tuning in to season 2, episode 1 of Blacktivities. Happy Black History Month, Black people. There are 3 things that you can do to be involved with what we got going on Blacktivities. The first thing is, if you like what you heard, share it.
We would love to hear your opinions on our topic each week. Hit us on our hotline. Girl, we got a hotline bling now. Look at that. You can call us at 770-744-1749 and leave us a good old message. You might hear yourself on a future episode.
And if you're on IG, you can follow us. We are at Blacktivities Pod.
King and queen keep doing big things. Lego.